Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, YouTube's only YouTube channel. Today we're continuing to look at the Mythic Legion's Rising Sun's Wave with Névé. So sheep will be our figure for today, and today's beverage is chalky pudding. Thought I'd slurp this down during the review. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm filming this on April Fool's Day and I thought it would be cute. I'm sure the joke is going to lose some of its potency since I won't be posting this on April Fool's Day. You kind of got to post it on the day to make an impact. Anyway, she's looking fantastic already. This was definitely one of the ones I really wanted from this wave. So once again, we've got the standard packaging. You just slip it out of the case. Slip, just like that. Very useful if you want to keep the box. If you're like a box collector, but you want to take out the figure still and take a look at it. It's been a while since we pre-ordered the wave, so I really don't recall everything that she comes with, but this cursory glance at the packaging tells me that she comes with some cool stuff. So let's get into it. Alright, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, thank you, welcome back. If you're new to this channel, hello. Here's what we typically do here. I open the figure on camera, I look at it on camera with you, so you're immediately getting my first thoughts about the figure for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I typically don't look at these beforehand. I'll order them, and then that's it, until I open them up. So we discover together. But yeah, definitely wanted this one for sure. Who doesn't love a big, strong lady? And even cooler than that, she's a frost elf. Of course, her sculpt is looking fantastic. Check out those guns. Oh my god. I think it's reuse from Cosmic Legion's Vorga, who is also completely jacked. Man, arms and thighs. I'm going to say something that might be controversial, but I am typically not into barbarian type characters. It's just so easy to make them boring, like the same stereotype, Conan type, Frank Frazetta type barbarians we've seen for years and years. Especially for the ladies, it's typically just muscular lady in skimpy fur outfit, which is fine, but it just gets a little boring. There's not much visually to consume if you're a straight woman, I guess. So I love things like this, where there's a lot of visually interesting stuff going on. There's a lot of static. Not only are there different interesting components, but there's a lot of different colors going together. This pop of blue on her loincloth is really nice because it complements her eyes, adds some color to an otherwise kind of drab wardrobe. Her hair is beautiful, frosty gray, some metallic blue hair doodads, and you've still got a skimpily dressed lady warrior, but yeah, there's just more detail going on. There's more to look at. I love this skull on her belt. Why do that? I don't know, but she does, and it's cool. She does have this weird spot. I definitely need to heat her up because she is sticking. There's this weird spot on her side, this indent. I don't know if that happened in the molding phase or what. Maybe everyone's has that. It's not super noticeable because it's on her side. Mine also has this paint line on her forehead, which also is not that bad. I also notice, and it's very subtle, but she's kind of got some forehead wrinkles going on. I don't know if that's in the sculpt or if it's just a byproduct of casting and painting. But there's definitely some lines there, and I personally love that. Let's move on to two things that bother me. And I'm sorry, because she's mostly fantastic looking, but I just want to point these out. So you can tell how her head is sculpted. There's a definite rim around her eyes where there is supposed to be like cat eye makeup, make it easier for the painters to kind of trace that line and put like a black outline. So for her, I don't think it's supposed to be fully outlined. I looked at the photos and her eyes are accurate to how they're supposed to be, but that line is still super visible because this head will be reused for other characters that will have a stronger outline around the eye, I assume. But when you look up close, it's really noticeable and kind of awkward. Otherwise, her eyes look fantastic. I love that frosty blue. And it's just a nitpick. I mean, most people aren't going to be looking this close, but it's kind of It's kind of what I do, you know? Second thing is anatomy based. And I know some people don't like it when I talk about female anatomy, but I'm just gonna real quick. It's nothing glaring. I don't really have a problem with it. it makes me laugh because her boobs are pushed so far apart from one another. They are separated hardcore. And there's like a metal medallion in between them. I really hope that this is sturdy material. I guess it's leather, because if they get squished with that metal medallion in between them, that's gonna hurt so bad. But so far, those are my only 2 nitpicks. Not even complaints, just nitpicks, things I noticed and thought would be interesting to point out. She looks amazing. I love her. Again, the hair is amazing. Just awesome sculpt on that hair. And she just looks super cool. Definitely a scantily dressed barbarian lady, but a well done character design in my opinion. She is, however, very stiff out of the package, and I do not want to risk breaking her or bending anything out of place, so I'm going to heat her up really quick, and then we're going to look at articulation and then accessories. All right, she is warm. Let's take a look at her. You've got a hinge at the head, and that hinge is also on a ball joint, so there's some swivel, there's some tilt. No neck joint. Her neck is part of her torso. Big muscular arm up. Rotation, of course. I'm expecting to get some paint chips from those joints, but that's okay. Got a single elbow. There's a swivel on that. See, lateral hinge on this hand, and swivel there too, of course. There is, looks like a ball or dumbbell joint at the waist. So you get some movement there. A fair amount, actually. For the Manisha figure we looked at in this wave, we had the problem of her torso just popping right out of her bottom half, often with impunity. Névé doesn't seem to be having that problem, which is great. One big muscular thigh out, up, back. Oh, yeah, this comes off, and this is rubbery, so it doesn't get in the way. I think you've also got a swivel there. Let's look underneath everything. Yep, she is nicely warmed up. Knee, swivel there as well. Do you have a boot swivel? Ooh, it's hard to tell because her entire knee wants to move. Yeah, boot swivel, and then hinge and swivel on the ankle. Fairly robust in the articulation department, which, as I've said before, the less going on with these figures, the less stuff on them, the more you can typically get them to do. Like, the gold standard for me is the Valiant Knight figure, because that's just it's just a knight. There's not much else going on. There's no doodads on him. There's no capes or no nothing. It's just a knight, and the articulation on him is kind of crazy for 4 horsemen. Névé's pretty good though. Okay, let's look at accessories. She comes with some fun stuff. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way though. Hands. Sorry if hands are very exciting to you. They're not to me, but it is nice to have them. So she has holding things hands attached, but like I said, they're on a lateral hinge. These are on an up and down hinge, so you'll be able to switch those out, get her holding things accordingly. Pauldrons, of course. You know my motto, and I'm not going to say it again, except I am, to remind you what my motto is. It's not a Mythic Legion if it doesn't come with pauldrons. These are very interesting because not only is the sculpt really cool, but the paint is really cool. My lights are kind of exacerbating it. Without them on, it's a little bit more subtle, but these spikes are each painted like an iridescent purpley blue, which makes sense with the Frost Elf theme. Love that detail. It's awesome. I do kind of wish we got more of that iridescent paint in her clothing, but yeah, that's really awesome. Hopefully that's coming across on camera. Looks great. She's suitably heated up, so I should be able to plug these in. 2 holes in her back to put those in. I might prefer her without them though, just because it makes sense since she's a barbarian lady. It would make sense for her to be a little bit less armored out. Yeah, I mean, of course she looks cool with them on and they look cool by themselves, but I think I prefer her without the pauldrons, just because it really shows off not only her epic guns, but that hair sculpt is beautiful, and I don't really want anything kind of getting in the way of that. We'll leave them on for now though. She'll come with an alternate head, which is just a helmeted head. Somehow she shoves all that hair in there and she's got this helmet. So these pieces are modular. They'll come off. You can take them out and replace them with something else if you got it. So you could have a couple different looks for her. You can have the pauldrons on, the helmet on, pauldrons on, normal head on, pauldrons off, whatever. That's what these things are made for. She'll come with this. It's called a belt trinket. Looks like a compass of some sort. Hang it on her belt. Got these little loopies for it if you want, or there's a loop over here. Wherever you want to hang it. It's fine. This is your figure. If you have it, you can do whatever you want. She'll come with a sword. Looks like a dwarven sword to me, but that's fine. I mean, when you're a barbarian, you kind of make use of all the everything at your disposal. That's another thing is this figure, it's mostly the hair, let's be honest. Reminds me of Aloy from Horizon. One of my favorite character designs in gaming. You know, Aloy's default outfit is a mix of so many things. It's furs, it's colorful beads, it's machine parts that she's scavenged. So yeah, like in true fantasy, tribal, or barbarian fashion, the characters kind of scavenge what they need and make their outfits based on that, which is really, really cool when it's done in an interesting way. Here is another weapon, an axe. Double-headed axe. Less dwarven in origin. Looks pretty simple. Looks like your standard barbarian axe. Crudely fashioned, but it does the job. And here is my favorite accessory, and the one... I don't want to say this accessory sold me on her, because she by herself looks really cool. Like, even without this, I would want her, but it definitely sweetens the pot. This super cool shield. So this bear part can pop out. You can replace it with other decorative parts, I guess, if you have them. This bear is just beautiful. Man, it makes me want to play Skyrim. Maybe it doesn't take much to make me want to play Skyrim. Then there's this handle. Slip on there. It's a little tight. Ooh, so I don't want to push it too much. I'm not going to put it all the way. But yeah, super cool. And that is not it. You might have seen me, during the unboxing, delicately dumping these arrows into my hand because I didn't want to lose any. You'll notice it's just the shaft. There's no actual arrow. And this has holes in it. That's because these slip in as if she is or has been under siege, under attack. So she can hold this up, have the arrows sticking out. She's fending some attacker off. Just super, super cool. Brilliant. Brilliant accessory. I don't know if they've done that before. If they have, this is the first shield like that we're getting, us personally. So she is a big lady. Here she is next to Sir Andrew. To be honest, she towers over him. Real world explanation would be that this is a 2.0 body, and I think this is still a 1.0 body. Lore explanation is that she is a giant frost elf. She's a barbarian. So yeah, I'm not typically someone who has an issue with the scale of things. Like if one character looks a little bit off from the other, that doesn't really bother me. But even for the people who it does bother, I don't think this should be an issue because she is just built different, literally. But here she is with figure obscura thoth. Just have these figures laying around. So he's a pretty big figure, and she kind of even rivals him. I mean, he's only this big because he's got a bird head. I would say her muscles are just as big as his. A little bit less detailed. Her skin is definitely smoother. Great skincare routine. And here she is with some other figures we've opened up in this wave. There's Dees. He's kind of crouching a little bit, so it's hard to get a good comparison. There we go. We've straightened him up. He's still kind of small compared to her, but he is a scorpion man. Scorpions are smaller than people, typically. And here is Manisha, again, much smaller. Névé is a powerhouse. She towers over them. She, so far, is my definite favorite of this wave. Just aesthetically very cool, imposing, makes an impact. So yeah, so far from this wave, I'd say if you have to get one figure, it would be a Névé, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, I haven't opened the whole wave. We didn't even buy the whole wave. The only ones we have left are the dwarves and Bodvar, which I know people are excited about. We just got this wave kind of late, and there were already so many Bodvar reviews that I thought it would just be best to go ahead and look at everyone else first. Plus, I want to give him my full, undivided attention because I love bears, and he is so cute. And I know I'm going to love him, and there's just been a lot going on. But yeah, I love Névé. She is awesome, just ticks all the boxes for me. Cool character design, nice to look at, relatively unfrustrating, cool accessories. Yeah, I just love her. So that will be all for us today. I just wanted to thank you guys for being so nice on my last video. Got a lot of really nice and supportive comments, people reaching out. It was very sweet. You know, I'm happy to have a thoughtful and engaging audience. Very grateful for that and for your understanding. And yeah, like I said, 2 more figures to look at. Well, 3, because the dwarves are a 2-pack. But 2 more boxes in this wave to look at, the dwarves and Bodvar. And then after that, who knows? It's a mystery. It'll always be a mystery what I look at next. I do Mythic Legions. I do Cosmic. I do Marvel Legends. Third Party. Jurassic Park. Beasts of the Mesozoic. I do a lot of stuff. So thank you very much for being here for it. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one.